What if the chaos of your life wasn't a curse, but your greatest training ground for strength? What if every setback, every heartbreak, and every moment of doubt was secretly shaping you into someone unshakable? And what if an ancient philosopher held a timeless blueprint for mastering your mind and rising above it all? Every one of us, at some point, feels like life is spinning out of control. Whether it's a lost job, a broken relationship, or just the chaotic pace of daily routines. These moments can leave us feeling helpless and overwhelmed. But what if? I told you there's a way to not just survive these challenges, but to thrive amidst them. Today, we're going to dive deep into the wisdom of Seneca, an ancient philosopher who mastered the art of maintaining peace in a tumultuous world. His teachings on Stoicism aren't just philosophical musings, they are practical strategies that have empowered leaders, thinkers, and individuals through the ages, and can empower us today. By the end of this video, you'll have a toolkit of Stoic principles to help you cultivate mental toughness and reclaim control over your emotions and reactions, no matter what life throws your way. Stick with me and let's explore how these ancient secrets can be applied to modern life for a calmer, more centered existence if you appreciate what we're doing here and want to support the channel. A simple free favor I will ask from you is to hit the subscribe button. It helps us keep bringing content like this to you. Also, I encourage you not to skip any part of the video. If you're here, you're not like the majority, you're someone who sees the value in diving deep. So consider yourself an exceptional one. Focus on one activity at a time. Seneca's wisdom to be everywhere is to be nowhere captures a crucial principle that is often overlooked in our modern rush to do more and be more. The idea of focusing on one activity at a time is central to Stoic philosophy and can transform how we approach our daily tasks in a world that celebrates the myth of multitasking. We need to pause and reconsider the effectiveness of this approach when we try to multitask. We're spreading our attention thin, which can lead to increased mistakes and decreased quality of work. Marcus Aurelius, another revered Stoic philosopher, echoed this sentiment when he advised, "Concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness. TL willingly with justice and unfreeing yourself from all other distractions." This focus is not just about improving productivity. It's about cultivating a quality of mind that values depth over breadth. Focusing on one activity at a time allows us to immerse ourselves fully in the task at hand, whether it's a professional assignment, a personal project, or a meaningful conversation. This kind of deep work fosters a greater sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. Plato might argue that this singular focus helps us access a higher form of beauty and truth in our work, as it allows us to give our best effort and create something that resonates with the ideals of goodness and excellence. Moreover, the psychological benefits of focusing on one task at a time are significant. It reduces the cognitive load on our brains, minimizing stress and enhancing our decision-making capabilities. Aristotle, who valued the development of virtues through habitual right action, would likely support this practice as a way to develop the virtue of temperance or self-control, helping us regulate our desire for distraction and immediate gratification. Practicing this focused approach not only aligns with the wisdom of Stoic philosophers, but also with modern psychology, which suggests that our brains are not wired to handle multiple complex tasks simultaneously. The quality of our work and our life improves when we give our full attention to one thing at a time. Socrates' method of deep inquiry and dialogue, focusing intensely on one subject to the exclusion of all else, exemplifies how powerful this method can be. Embracing this Stoic principle doesn't just make us more productive, it makes us more thoughtful, peaceful, and balanced individuals. It is a rejection of the chaos of modern multitasking and an embrace of a more deliberate and purposeful mode of being. As we practice this, we might find that not only do our results improve, but so does our overall well-being. 2. Practice philosophy to control your impulses. Seneca's insight, "All the greatest torments are the result of an undisciplined mind," reveals a profound truth about human nature. Our unchecked impulses can be the source of immense emotional turmoil and suffering. Stoicism, which emphasizes the importance of self-control and rational thinking, provides us with a framework to address this challenge rather than suppressing our emotions, which is neither healthy nor sustainable. Stoicism teaches us to understand and manage them. The process of managing our impulses begins with self-awareness. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, famously said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This statement highlights the necessity of self-mastery in achieving true freedom and happiness. By becoming more aware of our impulses and the triggers that set them off, we are better equipped to handle them rationally. This doesn't mean denying our feelings, but understanding them deeply enough to respond in ways that align with our long-term goals and values in the realm of philosophy. Aristotle also spoke about the importance of moderating our impulses through the development of virtues. He believed that virtue lies in finding the balance between excess and deficiency, a concept known as the golden mean. For instance, courage is the mean between recklessness and cowardice. Applying this to impulse control, we seek to find a balance between spontaneous reactions and complete inaction, aiming for thoughtful, deliberate responses that reflect our best selves. Moreover, practicing philosophy as a guide to controlling our impulses involves understanding our emotions and responding in a way that aligns with our values. Cultivating rational thought as a habit. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on the importance of aligning thoughts with rational and virtuous principles. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This perspective encourages us to focus on our internal responses rather than external provocations, thereby gaining greater control over our impulses. By critically examining our impulses with the aid of philosophical wisdom, we can begin to make choices that are not dictated by fleeting emotions, but are the result of careful thought and reflection. This practice not only strengthens our mental fortitude, but also helps us live more harmoniously with our values. It leads to a life where decisions are made, not in the heat of the moment, but with a clear, composed mind. The Stoic approach to impulse control is about cultivating an inner dialogue that constantly questions and assesses our instinctive reactions. It is about making philosophy not just a subject we study, but a way we live our lives, allowing us to rise above immediate gratifications and achieve a deeper sense of satisfaction and purpose. This disciplined approach to managing impulses is not just about avoiding emotional pain. It's about forging a path to a more thoughtful, fulfilling life. The key is to stay prepared. Seneca, who was all about being prepared, famously said, "Rehearse them in your mind. Exile, torture, war, shipwreck, all the terms of our human lot should be before our eyes." This advice might sound a bit dramatic at first. After all, not all of us are navigating the high seas or entering battle. But what Seneca is getting at here is the concept of mental preparation for life's inevitable challenges. A cornerstone of Stoic resilience, Stoicism teaches us to anticipate and mentally rehearse the worst, not to fill us with dread, but to diminish the shock and pain when difficulties do occur. This practice is known as premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. It's about visualizing the most challenging scenarios, not to worry obsessively, but to be emotionally and mentally equipped when life throws its curveballs. Think about it this way. Athletes practice under tough conditions to prepare for the strain of actual competition. Similarly, by mentally rehearsing challenging situations, we train our minds to handle stress and adversity with less panic and more poise. The Stoic practice helps us appreciate our current state. When we realize how much worse things could be, our everyday problems seem less overwhelming. Applying Stoicism doesn't mean living in constant anxiety about what could go wrong. Rather, it's about having a realistic acknowledgement of potential negative outcomes. For example, if you're worried about job security, instead of spiraling into fear, you could start preparing ing by updating your resume, enhancing your skills, or even exploring alternate career paths. This way, if the worst were to happen, you're not caught off guard and are better positioned to handle the situation. Moreover, this principle extends beyond personal crisis. It's about maintaining a level of readiness for any significant changes in our lives. From financial instability to personal loss, by staying prepared, we not only shield ourselves from the initial shock, but also quicken our recovery and adjustment periods. We become less reactive and more responsive. A subtle but powerful shift in handling life's uncertainties. Seneca's counsel helps us forge a mindset where we're not overwhelmed by adversity, but are fortified against it. This mental readiness is not about expecting the worst, but about without being prepared to deal with any situation, thereby enhancing our resilience and overall mental toughness. Through this Stoic lens, we see not just the potential for loss or hardship, but also the opportunity for growth and renewal in every challenge. For voluntarily embrace hardships. Another profound insight from Seneca is difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. This idea is at the heart of Stoicism and speaks to a practice that can seem counterintuitive at first. Voluntarily embracing hardships. It's about deliberately choosing to experience discomfort, not as a form of punishment, but as a way to fortify our mental resilience and expand our capacity to handle life's inevitable challenges. Think about what it means to voluntarily embrace hardships. It's like an athlete who trains under harsh conditions to prepare for a competition. The athlete understands that by pushing the limits in a controlled environment, they're better prepared for the stresses of the actual event. Similarly, by choosing to face difficulties head-on, whether that's taking on a challenging project at work, speaking up in public, or even opting to live more simply, we enhance our mental toughness and adaptability. The Stoic approach teaches us that when we step out of our comfort zones on purpose, we're not just testing our limits, we're expanding them. For example, if you dread public speaking regularly, putting yourself in situations where you must speak in front of others can transform your fear into a skill. Over time, what once felt insurmountable becomes manageable and eventually comfortable. This Stoic practice is not about seeking out suffering for its own sake, but about recognizing that growth often comes from discomfort. Embracing voluntary hardships also means resetting our comfort thresholds. In a world that often prioritizes comfort and ease, choosing the harder path can seem radical, but Stoicism invites us to rethink what true comfort is. Is it merely the absence of discomfort, or is it the presence of inner strength and peace that comes from knowing we can handle whatever comes our way? By integrating this Stoic principle into our lives, we also learn to appreciate our current circumstances more. When we know we can endure more, we can enjoy the simple pleasures of life with greater contentment. It's about building a life not on the avoidance of hardship, but on the foundation of resilience. This doesn't mean we seek out suffering, but when hardship does come, we view it as an opportunity to practice our Stoic skills in embracing violent hardships. We also foster a deep sense of self-efficacy. We prove to ourselves that we are capable of overcoming obstacles, which in turn builds self-confidence. Each challenge we face and overcome is a reminder that we are stronger than we might have thought believed. So let's take a page from Seneca's book and challenge ourselves to step into the arena of voluntary hardship. It's there that we'll find not just challenges, but also the keys to a more resilient and fulfilling life. 5. Avoid self-victimization. Seneca wisely pointed out we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This statement is a stark reminder that our interpretation of events, not the events themselves, often causes our greatest suffering. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that we are victims of our circumstances, which can lead to a mindset that everything happens to us rather than for us or with us. Stoicism teaches us the importance of perception. How we choose to see and interpret life's challenges significantly impacts our experience of them. If we view ourselves as passive victims, we surrender our agency and power. However, if we view challenges as opportunities to grow and learn, we maintain control over our responses and are more likely to approach life proactively. Consider a common scenario Perhaps you didn't get a promotion at work and your initial reaction is to feel sidelined or discriminated against. While these feelings are valid, Stoicism invites us to examine our reactions critically. Are we perhaps viewing the situation only through a lens of loss and unfairness? What if instead we saw this as an opportunity to seek feedback, improve our skills, or even reassess our career path to find a better fit for our aspirations? Avoiding self-victimization doesn't mean ignoring the injustices or difficulties we face. Rather, it means shifting our focus from what happens to us to how we respond to what happens. This shift is powerful. It moves us from a place of passive action to active participation in our lives. We stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this situation? Stoicism equips us with the tools to detach from our initial emotional responses and see the bigger picture. It's about understanding that while we can't always control external events, we can control our perceptions and reactions. This mental shift is freeing and empowering, allowing us to live with a sense of purpose and resilience, making us better equipped to handle future challenges. Moreover, practicing this Stoic principle enriches our interactions with others. By refusing to cast ourselves as perpetual victims, we foster healthy relationships characterized by mutual respect and understanding. Rather than blame and resentment, we become more compassionate as we recognize that just as we are responsible for our happiness, so are others for theirs. In embracing the Stoic way, we liberate ourselves from the chains of self-victimization. We take charge of our narrative, acknowledging that we are the architects of our reality. This empowerment is the essence of Stoicism and the key to a fulfilling and proactive life. So let's choose to rise above victimhood, not by denying our pain, but by reframing our stories with strength, wisdom, and resilience. 6. Spend time in solitude. Seneca's advice to retire into yourself as much as possible emphasizes the value of solitude in Stoic philosophy. This guidance is not an encouragement toward isolation, but rather an invitation to engage in deep self-reflection and introspection action. In our fast-paced, interconnected world, the noise of everyday life can drown out our inner voice and hinder our ability to reflect on our personal growth and values. Stoicism teaches us that true solitude is a state of rich self-awareness, not merely a physical state of being alone. The benefits of spending time in solitude are profound and have been echoed by philosophers throughout history. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, often wrote about the importance of introspection in his personal writings. He believed that understanding oneself is essential to living a life of virtue and purpose. He stated, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This highlights the idea that solitude provides a sanctuary where one can escape the demands of the external world and focus on internal development. Furthermore, the practice of solitude allows us to explore our thoughts and emotions without distraction. It gives us the space to process our experiences and align our actions with our principles. By regularly engaging in this practice, we cultivate a deeper understanding of who we are and what we truly want from life. This alignment is crucial for living authentically and achieving personal fulfillment. Aristotle also touched on the importance of self-reflection for achieving eudaimonia or flourishing. He believed that self-awareness and reflection are key to leading a meaningful and fulfilled life. The Stoic practice of solitude also encourages us to develop resilience. Epictetus emphasized the need for personal reflection to fortify the mind against adversity. He advised individuals to use solitude as a tool to strengthen their character and mental endurance, preparing them for the inevitable challenges of life. He posited it is in your power to withdraw yourself whenever you desire perfect. Tranquility consists in the good ordering of the mind, the realm of your own. Moreover, spending time alone helps us appreciate our relationships and social interactions more fully. When we turn from periods of solitude, we often find that we have more to offer others. Whether it's greater empathy, patience, or clarity, This not only enriches our personal relationships, but also enhances our contributions to our communities. The Stoic practice of seeking solitude is not about escaping life, but about deepening our engagement with it. By retiring into ourselves, we gain the clarity needed to act more thoughtfully in the world. Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Apicus all provide us with a roadmap for using solitude, not as a retreat from life, but as a tool to live more fully and meaningfully. Closing thoughts as we wrap up today's discussion, it's clear that the teachings of Stoicism aren't just abstract theories confined to ancient texts. They offer practical strategies that can be applied to our daily lives, empowering us to lead more thoughtful, resilient, and purposeful lives. Stoicism teaches us the value of focus, the power of self-control, the importance of preparedness, the strength found in embracing hardships, the liberation that comes from avoiding self-victimization, and the clarity that solitude can bring. Each of these principles challenges us to turn inward and refine our characters, to confront our lives with both honesty and courage. Remember, Stoicism doesn't promise an easy life. Rather, it offers us the tools to deal with life's challenges more effectively. It encourages us to see every obstacle as an opportunity to practice virtue and every hardship as a chance to test our resilience. By applying these Stoic practices, we're not just surviving, we're thriving, cultivating a life of peace and fulfillment from within in the spirit of Stoicism. Let's continue to explore how we can apply these ancient wisdoms to navigate the complexities of modern life. Let's strive to be better than we were yesterday, to live with intention and virtue,